again, I don't believe everything I read. However, when you go to this page, second page, behind the bid pack one, second page.
Yeah.
MSRP for that copier is $16,999.
Right. You sure this will fit in your office?
That's why I was.
That's got to.
Okay, any other questions? Any? Okay.
What happens if you go over 3,000 copies?
Yeah, is there, do you have a per page charge if we go over 3,000 copies?
Yeah, it's like penny and a half for black and white and 3.5 cents or something for color. We're nowhere near that.
How does that rank with the other vendors?
The retail vendor is 7.5 cents per color and 3.5 cents per color.
Okay.
Do we get a credit for the months that we don't go over?
No.
Can we lease our office to Chuck?
I like his dealings. Okay, any other comments or questions? Do I have, yeah, Jacques?
We know how many copies we're doing actually.
Do we have a count monthly, how many copies we're making?
The full month, the first full month I was here, we were like 1,700, and about 600 of them were screw-ups from our current printer.
Well, it sounds like fairly well underneath the 3,000.
Yes, we're way under that.
Your large mailings are still going to be done off-site, and your main annual meeting notice, all those things, as we move you into the first service platform and you're on our plan, our accounting and our software, your main meeting notices and things like that are going to go through Illustratus, which is our third-party mailing company. It's all bulk rate mail, but that's going to be done through there, because that's too much to process on a small business machine.
Would this be considered a small business machine?
Yes.
This is a pretty substantial
It's a
machine.
small
It
business
is.
machine. You should see the copiers in our office.
Did you have any comments, Bob? Okay. Do we have a motion? Do I hear a motion? Yeah, Bob.
I make a motion, was it number one, was it?
Bid pack number one? Second, any further discussion? Okay. Yeah.
Very quickly,
On the motion?
I just want to make sure that we're not getting charged for first service and buying this machine at the same time. Is that what I just heard?
You just heard that your major mailings, your annual meeting and budget meeting will be handled off-site. Everything else should be handled here. If it's about 5-6 pages each times 600, you're already at your 3,000 limit in one shot. Your major annual mailings,
Right.
your annual and budget meeting will be handled off-site.
Right, that I understood, but I understood
That's
you
what
just
I
saying the
said. That's
monthly.
the only things that I said that would be handled off-site, major mailings.
Okay, John? No? Okay. Yeah, quickly.
Well,
Teresa.
real quick, they're talking about doing a newsletter. When that newsletter's done, where's that going to be from? Here, off-site?
It's not going to be
You should
printed.
talk-
It's going to be scanned or emailed.
Well, and if it's self-funded,
We're not gonna- it's not gonna be running into
print it out,
3,000.
and it'll be self-funding if they use the advertising.
Done.
Your certified letters and everything that are currently were being done off-site, will be done in-house now,
Correct.
estoppels, everything like that?
Estoppels are a different story. That's going to be done in our accounting department in Boca.
But as far as
We're switching-
collection letters and anything that's a certified will be done
Violation
here?
letters, collection letters, everything like that will be processed here. So there'll be no charge at all other than the postage, which you will have to pay for anyway.
Right.
Is there any possible way we can find out whether or not people are still using, are people still using the coupon books? I mean, do people still write checks and actually mail them in?
The people that are signed up on ACH, and as we go forward,
I thought we were.
We get a lot of coupons.
Let me stick to the motion though. The coupon books are about printed on copies, right?
no.
Okay, so I'll get back to you. So, all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay, motion carries unanimously. Okay,
I don't want to.
signatory authorizations, real quick on this. And POA by financial institutions required for FSR lockbox and access.
Read all of these.
Okay, so let me go back for a second. There's two other pieces of
Did you amend
equipment.
that? Did you amend the POA into?
Hold on, before we go to that, there's other additional pieces of equipment that I guess are they part of this?
It's not in here because can I just explain real quick? So we purchased Chuck a first service laptop. We've already got it.
First service
coming
paid
in.
for it.
First service paid for it. It's gonna be on our platform because I need it to be tagged, and it's gotta be on our whole entire platform. The one thing that you will have to pay for is the docking station. It's $300 with the dual monitor system. Is that an issue? Because that's the only, it's gotta fit our computer. They come pre-done with the actual.
No, we understood that.
It's,
We
it's,
I just
the
wanna make
bottom
sure
line
that
is
that's
it
in
saves us
minutes
from
that
having to
we're
buy
okay
a
with that,
computer.
and you're not gonna have to purchase another.
We're not
No,
gonna
right,
provide
we
a
understood
computer.
that.
And
Yeah.
also there'll be serial number for HOA, and it won't go anywhere, it's here, it's ours.
The docking station.
Do I have a motion? Mike?
I make the motion to purchase the equipment truck we use to use John second.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll take it.
Are we talking about just the docking station? or
Yes.
what's the
No,
other-
talking about this docking and this water.
Yes.
Yeah, and what's the total cost of the three pieces of
Well,
equipment?
the docking station itself with the dual monitor on the wall is 300 something. I don't have the exact.
Altogether?
350 some odd dollars.
Altogether?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Cost of
Second,
AC, no water.
second, any discussion? It's $350, monitor, double monitor, et
We're
cetera.
paying for the
Okay.
laptop, and it's our
Uh,
laptop.
Okay, all those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay, motion carries unanimously. Okay, now let's go to the POA issue. The bottom line here is that we have a lot of money in reserves, we have a lot of accounts. We have to have signatories on those accounts, we have to have signature cards. We've all had to sign documents that would show that we are proper signatories on the accounts. It's all spread throughout all the members, the board members that are up here. There has been an issue that has arisen, I guess, in terms of authorizations that are necessary from some of the financial institutions that would allow for us to change over the lockbox that I know some of us on the board have had problems with, as well as some of our members. And so the idea is that there are some additional documents that need to be signed by board members, giving power of attorney to FSR, to First Services, so that they can make the change on these lockbox issues. And it's limited power of attorney, it's not plenary. The difference there is plenary is, you're now making all decisions for me, Francine. Any decision,
That's not.
whether it relates to education, finances, anything, right? That's plenary. Limited is, Francine, I need you to go to the bank for me, and I need you to write a check and pay for my housing expenses alone. That's what a limited power of attorney is. Big difference between the two. But apparently we have an issue that's been raised by KS, and KS, why don't you tell us what your issue is?
My issue is that I don't believe that our HOA should give anybody, other than board members, the ability to sign our checks. I fully support a management company or somebody not on the board being allowed to transfer funds. We have insurance for that. We can track that, but it's not a problem. I have no problem with a management company taking control over our lockbox. We can track that, we can verify that. I have a really big problem. I don't think it's necessary that any management company needs to be able to sign checks. Our checks, period.
Okay, so
That's
Katie,
it.
why
So
don't you
you
just
have a
follow?
corporate resolution that you made with signatory authorizations. There was no members of management that were in that. There is only board members, officers who are signing checks. So we don't have the authority to do that anyway.
But
Each bank-
that power of attorney allows you to do that.
Hold on, let her finish her comment.
I have plenty of agreements with every single account that we manage at First Service. Some banks make you have a power of attorney, some banks make you just do a written agreement for electronic access. Center State Bank was they just acquired Gulfstream Business Bank. They require that form. It is limited. It's limited into what the corporate authorizations are of this board, and they do not include any member of management to sign your checks. It is only for the ability for our company to access lockbox and also access the online ability to get statements and do things like that.
So by signing the POA, does a member of the management company have the ability to sign a check like this?
No.
Okay.
It doesn't say, okay, what I read, and now maybe I didn't read right, said that there was a resolution passed by the board giving power of attorney. There was no resolution passed by the board that accompanied the power of attorney, and for our comfort, I would like to see included in that specific exclusion for anybody other than a board member to sign a check, and I'm good. Just include that, and I'm good.
Center State Bank isn't gonna change their form. If you wanna make a motion right now that there's a corporate resolution that only the four officers, who are the signers, the four officers? Dan, Bob,
Wanda.
Jose, and Wanda. We'll just put this right in the minutes, right here and there, and make sure that minutes go with the POA.
Absolutely, I'm good.
Fine.
I second the motion. Any other discussion on it?
Nope.
Okay, all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay, motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay. Other new business, is there any other new business? Okay. I'm gonna skip number 6, open forum questions. So we can get out of here. Hint, hint. Does anybody have any questions for the board that's related to the business that we've done tonight? Harry,
I
yes.
just had one thing I wanted to say about the security committee, that I do finances with the businesses, and there's a lot of purchasing of security companies. So one question when you interview people is to find out if your ops are being sold, or looking to be sold, or anything like that. And there's a lot of transfers.
Sounds like an anti-assignment provision to me. It's a good point though. Any other questions from?
I was gonna say one thing real fast. I don't see the security committee getting anywhere. There's too much bickering, there's too much fighting, there's too much back and forth. And in 4 meetings I've attended, sat in the back room, third party, not paying attention, halfway paying attention, on my phone. So all I hear, back and forth. At the end of the meeting, I look over the wife and go, what the hell did you guys accomplish? Because I still don't understand what's going to accomplish so far. And I don't even think the next 2 or 3 meetings you would have a resolution. Because there's not pressure put on from the board and security committee. It's not all bickering. I'm done.
I have seen minutes from the security committee, so I've seen some discussion about issues, and I think that the board has discussed this issue. I think Eric understands what we'd like to accomplish, and
Eric is trying,
we
he has
have
a whole bunch of people.
we have to continue to trust Eric to do what he's been doing, and I do.
And I do it to people on board.
I understand. I understand. So,
There is
yes,
a question came in the chat.
yes.
It's asking what was the outcome of the claims Wanda was receiving payment in the form of money orders for rentals.
I'm sorry, what?
What was it?
Who is the question from?
It says G on my own.
G, okay, that's not really related to the action and items that we've talked about tonight, so I don't think we can deal with that. Yes, Brian?
We actually had an issue come up in the security committee meeting that I still feel strongly about, and that is that if you're not a part of the security committee, given the fact that you can't really get anything done, I don't think that if you're not a part of the security committee, if you're not invited, you should not be allowed to sit at the table. And I'd like the board to discuss that, because I don't think that any committee, unless invited, should allow for anybody just to come sit and answer roll call at a meeting. That to me is absurd.
So let me ask, and I understand your question and concerns, and I know that I attended a security committee meeting. I know other board members attend committee meetings. Hold on, forget about which, hold on, okay? Let's all take a step back for a second. Forget about which committee. If we could be talking about the communications committee or the landscaping committee. The question, and you may decide to entertain it, you may decide not to entertain it, okay? The question is at committee meetings, in order to conduct committee business, okay? The chairperson of the committee obviously has full and complete authority to run those meetings. And they do so under Robert's Rules of Orders, and we talked about that, and everybody knows what that means. But then the issue comes up when an audience member or a non-committee member wants to interact with the committee. I think it's natural to expect the chairperson of the committee to decide whether that person should interact or not with the committee. The question, though, is what happens when the possibility arises that there's such an issue with either non-committee members or committee members causing the committee to be unable to do its business. I have to, in my opinion, we have to trust the chairperson of the committee. I don't think that we can get involved, and we shouldn't get involved in our committees. But I will say this, that our committees have to get to us with recommendations to do the business of this board in a timely fashion. And if that doesn't happen, then the board will take action. But I think, relatively speaking, I would just ask each committee chairperson to really take a hold of your committees and to make sure those meetings move quickly. Yes, Bob?
I'm really very disappointed, I'm not saying this. For this last meeting, I ran off all the paperwork that showed the duties of the over, duties at the front gate. I ran off a paper, we consolidated to get all the top 10 on that list.
This is the security.
That we put on an agenda to follow. And we spent 20 minutes around just what he says, and decided who can sit at the table. He invited Wanda never said a word, sat up there. Next, we went, shut up! Come on, I'm tired of it. No, I was over here in the peanut gallery back in the corner. Hey, be quiet. Brian, all you do is make trouble.
Is that right?
Okay, that's enough.
So next during the meetings, we don't even get to discuss the duties of the rover. Because someone else says, I want to discuss so-and-so company, which isn't on the agenda at that time. And I went through the whole meeting, never followed the agenda. Halfway through the meeting, nicely, I said, can't we get back on course? No, we got to do fence, we got to do papers here, we got to do this, we got to do that.
So let me tell you something. Let me tell you, this is for every committee. Okay, I'm not the chair of a committee, but committees are there for a purpose. Okay? Security committee deals with security.
Well, I don't think we're getting any back from the board, I'm sorry.
The landscaping committee deals with landscaping issues. Each chairperson has a duty to put together the agenda that deals with the action items that you're going to deal with. Follow the agenda, and if it gets to the point where the committees are not doing their jobs, or they can't get through things, or there's too much strife, then we're just going to disband the committees. Because we don't have to have this happen. The idea is to have the committees do the board's job.
I like that last recommendation.
I understand.
Disband the committee.
Well, that's probably what's going to have to happen to some of the committees if we don't have the committees coming back to us with recommendations timely. And if it requires the board to do other things or to seek, we had to do this with the hearing committee. There were concerns about the members of the hearing committee. We went through, we removed all the members, we asked for resumes, and we reconvened the meeting. We reconvened the committee. We'll do that with any committee that's not doing their job. It's as simple as that. As the president of the board, I have the power, I've already talked to the lawyers about this, to disband the committee. I can suspend the committee, okay? But I'd rather not do that. You know why? That means we have to do more work, okay? We have a management company who this board and the committees had to do all the work before the management company put a new person in. Let's face it. But now we're able to do more of our own stuff. The management company's doing a great job, I think. I think Chuck's doing a great job, Katie's doing a great job. So we have more time. Now we have to take advantage of it, and our committees have to get more organized, and they have to get onto the action items. And to the extent that there's issues about things that are being complained about, I'm not going to put up with that anymore. So that's my piece. And I would just ask each member of the committee to behave themselves. We all sign codes of conduct. Live by them. I don't want to hear bickering, because at the end of the day, we'll just have local board meetings and forget about the committees. I'd rather not do that, but if we have to do it, we will. That's my opinion on it. So, anyway, that's my opinion. I don't know what anybody else thinks about that, but the committee. This is.
Eric has something.
Yes. And that's not even, and obviously, that's not directed at your committee. That's directed at all the companies. Well, the board's talking, so we're not dealing with homeowners right now. So, do we have comments here?
I do. The security committee wasn't tasked with removing the current security company in the very beginning.
Agreed.
We're talking about, 100 days, January, February, March. We're talking about 5 days, 106 days, in which time Chuck is asked to work with them, he has. In which time we've come up with particular things